Yeah.
Now, Sports Talk with Broads. Here's Hunter Brody.
I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if that was my best reaction. What I did post-game 3 seconds after Ivan Provorov scored the winner, I recorded myself. I uploaded it to Twitter. You can follow me at Broads81 for some unbelievable content. So I'll plug in the video right here. Yes! 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 Come on! Let's go! Come on! There is no way that I'm going to be able to sleep tonight. That Ivan Provorov goal is going to play in my head until 7 in the morning. That was fantastic. That was thrilling. By the overtime periods, I'm 2 feet in front of my 75-inch with my arms crossed, looking left, looking right, looking left, looking right. I could barely do anything besides pace around and stand there just a couple inches away because my heart was in my gut. It's a love-hate relationship. That's the beauty of sports, without a doubt. That's the rush we look for as sports fans, but at the same time, the anxiousness involved, the anxiety involved, it makes me uncomfortable. But if you come out on top, if you find a way to squeak a victory out, it tastes so sweet, it's all worth it, and that's exactly what the Philadelphia Flyers did to force a Game 7. They looked dead in the water when they were down 3-1. They continue to battle. Oscar Lindblom joins the lineup, which is insanity to think about what he went through just, 9 months ago, and here he is playing in a playoff game in double overtime. That's nuts. That's nonsense. You don't just plug and play someone who's been out for so damn long into the postseason in a do-or-die game, but that's the type of guy, Oscar Lindblom is. He can do that after kicking cancer's ass. And on top of that, Alain Vigneault has the trust in him and has the trust in the team. It's awesome. It really is awesome. What a victory. I didn't think the Flyers played perfect. I can scream at Alain Vigneault's decision to challenge the second goal by the Islanders. He's been miserable when it comes to challenging plays. It actually has been hurting this team because the Islanders get a power play when he is wrong so many damn times. But I could be pissed about that. I could be pissed about this stupid power play. And it's getting to the point where I almost do a punch through my TV because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You have some legit chances to put this team away and win the game earlier, but you can't even set up. You can't even get in the zone. When you do get a power play and you are in the zone, you can't even get a shot off. Or how about Travis Sanhiem when the Flyers, with 2 minutes left in an overtime period, has a power play, the puck jumps over his stick, he needs to hook, so there goes the man advantage, and now it's a 4-on-4. It's so disgusting. And when the Flyers entered this playoff, we said, if they don't figure out this power play, it's going to be the death of this team. And it's surprising that they're still alive with the abysmal performance by everybody involved in that power play. Their only good chance that comes to mind is when Kevin Hayes just cranked a clapper and it hit off the iron. That's it. And it wasn't even that great of a setup or anything. He just ripped it. So, AV and his decision-making, the power play, the lack of shots in general, Travis Sanheim's turnover at the end of the second period to give the Islanders a 4-3 lead. What the hell was that? Brassard gets in the mix. Barzal finishes the dirty work. And you go into the third period down against the team that thrives in the third period and does all their outstanding work in the third. The fact that the Flyers overcame that is unreal, but still, there's plenty of things to be pissed off about. But here's the simple answer to all of the frustration that I have at certain points in this game. They forced the Game 7. They still did things well. You don't go 2 overtimes with the Islanders, who pumped you with 54 or so shots, and you just played the worst hockey game in the world, they did some positives as well. Carter Hart was magnificent. He was elite. The Flyers cashed in on some opportunities when the Islanders made mistakes, whether they iced the puck, whether there was some mishandling of the puck at the blue line. Claude Giroux gets it, hits Scott Laughton in the third, and Scott Laughton with a filthy move to beat Varlamov, who I didn't think had a strong performance in this one at all. I don't even know what to do. I'm so juiced up. I'm sweating, legitimately sweating. It's coming down my face. I've been going nuts for like the last 45 minutes or so. The game ended around 45 minutes or so, and I said, come on, bro, sit on the couch, relax, take some deep breaths. But I couldn't. I watched the highlights already. You know, the condensed games. I couldn't stop just viewing the whole damn thing. I couldn't stop searching Ivan Provorov's goal on Twitter and replaying the last minute where, sure, you know what? They might have got lucky because someone's stick broke. And Kevin Hayes made an outstanding pass to the slot area where Ivan Provorov had a little bit of time, showed some poise, and ripped it. But sometimes you need a little luck on your side. Now, this episode of Sports Talk with Broads is sponsored by Orbit Energy and Power, and with over 20 years of experience in the solar industry, they are home to your solar experts. Their solar program helps eliminate your electric bill completely. They also provide water purification systems, backup energy services, battery storage, and more. So make sure you check out their information. It's in the description. By the way, we have a ton of reactions to listen to because you all called in post-game. You all were fired up, and we will react to your enthusiasm, to your passion. This team. This is something that annoys me a bit with this team. When they get a lead, they somehow lose it, right? That's another thing to add with the things you could be disappointed about. They had a 2-0 lead. They came out. They jumped out early. Boom. TK to Kevin Hayes. Kevin Hayes rips it past Varlamov for a 1-0 lead. And then here comes JVR just cranking a little how-do-you-do clap bomb past Varlamov. 2-0. I've been screaming about JVR being in the lineup. JVR needs to be in the lineup. The fact that he was health bombed for so long, it infuriated me. This team needs to score goals. They need to generate offense. JVR is a player that can generate offense. He just can't do it playing with the bottom 6 type players. Put him up top and let him do his thing. And how this team competed without Sean Couturier, yeah, that's a big deal. You lose Sean Couturier, a man who is up for the Selke. He should, here's the thing. I was going to say he should win it, but we know how this works. When Patrice Bergeron is in the mix, he's most likely going to win it over and over and over again. But Sean Couturier has had plenty of nominations, and it's to the point now where he should win one. But not having him in against this Islanders team and still grinding it out like this, that's super important. It's not an excuse to say, well, Sean Couturier wasn't in the lineup. It's a serious statement. He's your number 1 center. He's on your top line. And you throw Lindblom in there. You throw Raffl in there. Raffl, by the way, big goal to tie the game up 3-3. Mucking in front of the blue paint. Putting home rebounds. He does the little things right. What a veteran player. But the Flyers had a 2-0 lead, and then it evaporated. Aubé-Kubel takes a penalty. It gives the Islanders some life. Now, they didn't score on that actual penalty, but because they set up the puck, they took momentum with it, and they eventually scored as soon as the power play ended. It allowed the Islanders to creep back into the game earlier. Second period comes around. Here comes the Islanders again. And there was a trip involved. The Islanders crash into Carter Hart. And I can't believe that Alain Vigneault challenged that play. That is a horrendous decision. Seriously. I don't know if it's possible to challenge so many poor calls in one series like Alain Vigneault has done. Or one playoff run as a whole. Let's say the whole playoff run. It's been bad. Does he not see Does he think it's worth the gamble? I was questioning if he truly trusts his penalty kill so much that he goes, you know what, let's take a shot because I trust the PK. I believe that they will find ways to chip pucks out, to block shots. They had 31, may I add, which is a ton. Now, they did play into double overtime, so there's more time to block shots, but maybe he understands that his team is very strong on the kill, that he goes, you know what, I will take my gamble. I'll tell you what, though, that Barzal, Anders Lee, Jordan Eberle unit, holy hell. The more and more I watch Barzal play and zip around the ice and use his body to protect the puck and go around the net and tight turn, it's Nathan MacKinnon 2.0. Nathan MacKinnon is a step up, but it's the similar style. Here they are just buzzing around looking for offense. The Flyers don't really have that player. He's mesmerizing out there. He's a difference maker. He's got the black and blue eye, too, from Claude Giroux's stick that hit him in the eye last game. But when those three are on the ice, they get zone entry. They get odd man rushes. The Flyers don't get as many odd man rushes, and you can credit the Islanders because that's one of their strong suits. That's what Barry Trotz eliminates. It's tough to gain speed. It's tough to move forward through the neutral zone and get these odd man rushes left and right because of how sound they are as a unit. But you got to find a way to counter that. And they did score 5 goals. But I feel at this point I haven't given Carter Hart enough credit. Just a stone wall. To get peppered with 54 shots. Now here's the difference. The Flyers barely got to 30 shots. They scored 5 goals. You have the Islanders pumping 54 shots, 53 shots, something of that nature. I think it was 53. And you have Carter Hart making big-time saves, going post to post, whether the puck's falling right in the crease, and here he comes out of nowhere with his far pad, stopping Anders Lee. Wild. It really is wild that they came out on top. I remember watching the Columbus Blue Jackets game that went to those obnoxious amount of overtimes, and you get the thrill as a sports fan, but until it's your team, it's not the same scenario. And when it's your team, it hits different. The gut feel, it's different. Your heart's in your stomach. I knew that they would try and use Oscar Lindblom as that spark piece at some point. And that's not to say, by the way, that they're only using him for a spark piece. I mean, he's a tremendous player. He's had a great season. It's an awesome story. He busted his ass to get back on the ice. I don't want that to be taken the wrong way. But when you're down and your back's against the wall, I do think that there was some planning involved. Hey, let's use this to really emotionally ride this hockey team. And there's no doubt when he was on the ice, it's different. And the fact that during a moment like this, when teams are competing for the Stanley Cup, that everyone has grown up dreaming of being in their garage, kissing the fake Stanley Cup, when you're out there really doing it, and it's Game 6, and it's that intense, that everyone takes the time to give some stick taps, including the other team, that's how you know it's bigger than just hockey. And it's heartbreaking, really, what he went through, and it brings tears to my eyes seeing him skate. The Flyers put up that video before the game saying Oscar's back, and it was a highlight package of what he's been through. I started crying. The hairs on my arm literally started standing up, and I couldn't believe what my eyes were witnessing. I was praying that he would be the one to cash in that big-time moment for Game 6 in overtime. Could you imagine? Maybe, just maybe, the hockey gods are waiting for Game 7 for that to occur. It's a weird spot to be in because I do think that there's plenty of reasons to be upset with the team, but at the end of the day, you go to double overtime with the Islanders and you battle. You give the effort. It's not like the team gave up by any means. Sure, there were mistakes made, but there were mistakes made on both sides. The Flyers cashed in on some of their mistakes. The Islanders cashed in on some of the Flyers' mistakes and didn't cash in on all of them, of course, because, the Islanders did have some sustained pressure at times, but I thought the Flyers did as well. It's just the flow of the game. Both teams probably should have executed earlier to put the game away. They didn't, and one team eventually had to. Got a little puck luck involved due to the broken stick, and boom, there you have it. Ivan Provorov rips one past Varlamov. But I love how everybody stepped up. Everyone had a role. Claude Giroux, big-time assist on Scott Lawton's goal. Scott Lawton's woken up. Here's something. I do have some beef with Travis Konechny, though. I'm done with the bitching and complaining. I know he had the chirp where they showed a close-up of him. I forget who he was exactly chirping, but he had his teeth out as if he was making fun of someone's teeth. I know he's an emotional player, but you can't be slamming your stick. It looks childish to me. Looking up in the air. I've mentioned this before, but you can be that emotional player, and I can get behind that, and I think that that's a spark plug for a hockey team. But when things are going wrong, and when things are going negative for you, and you're frustrated for not scoring any goals in the playoffs, you can't be slamming your stick, screaming the F word, whacking the boards, slashing the glass. I'm over that. That's childish, in my opinion. Bear down and figure it out. Score a damn goal. Don't be complaining and whining. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's not very professional. That's what you do when you're Nick Pivetta, right? I think that's the perfect example. That's what you do when you're Nick Pivetta of the Phillies. You mope. You feel sorry for yourself. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Go to the net next time. Shoot far pad next time. Make the proper play. He had a great pass to start the scoring off. In overtime, actually, I think this was the double overtime, him, Raffle, and Hayes were centimeters away from putting it past the goal line. And it started with him having a nice pass. So he's having some moments. Why don't you build off that? Instead of showing how annoyed you are with yourself, I don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe that'll come with maturity. Because there's a way to handle your emotions and still be an effective player. And you know, there's a way to handle your emotions and still be that emotional leader that you are and be that noise generator that you are for the bench and for the team. I'm baffled. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sitting here and I'm still baffled. I'm trying to process the information. This truly was an emotional roller coaster, and it's so great to have sports back. That is what we have been missing as society when sports was on hiatus for the last 5 months. I have a new partner that I want to let you know about. I am planning to do some cool stuff throughout the season. I'm teaming up with Philly's own Stateside Vodka. Stateside is the fastest growing craft spirit in Pennsylvania and the first vodka on the market to actively hydrate the consumer with an electrolyte composition. What's better than this? Stateside is headquartered in Old Kensington, Philadelphia. It's 7 times distilled, certified gluten-free, and top-of-the-line premium vodka. You know I love supporting Philly and locally owned businesses, which is why I'm so excited about Stateside Vodka. So next time you're thinking about buying Tito's, which operated in Cowboys country down in Texas, think to yourself, do I love the Eagles or the Cowboys? We know the answer. There's no better vodka than Stateside. It's award-winning and Philly produced. Go to statesidevodka.com for 10% off the best vodka out there with promo code BROADS on pickup or delivery. Yes, they deliver to the counties of Philadelphia, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, Bucks, Westmoreland, and Allegheny. If you're out of the state, go to your local liquor store and pick up some and tweet me your pick at Broads81. Drop a line below if you're getting some Stateside. Let's dive into some phone calls. I think I want to hear from you. I want to hear from the people. You can utilize the Anytime Hotline, 24/7 Anytime Hotline, at any time. The phone number is 856-442-9805. I am really, really, really excited to listen.
We're going to Game 7, baby. How about those Flyers? Unfreaking believable. First off, no matter how this game turned out, to see Oskar Lindblom in a Flyers uniform back out there on the ice, I mean, what a great story. I'm so happy for the kid that he's back out there playing. As we go to Game 7, I think the Flyers should defer all power play opportunities, and I also think that Alain Vigneault should defer any replay challenges moving forward. Can you explain to me how 3 to 4 coaches can look at that screen and see things that the fans don't see? Terrible. But my last thing is a question for you, Hunter. Do you think the Islanders start feeling a little bit of pressure now? Like, hey, we had this team dead to rights, and somehow, some way, they're still hanging in there?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think all of the pressure is on the New York Islanders. And that's not to say, the Flyers get a free pass or anything if they do lose Game 7. Obviously, context matters, and you need to see how everything plays out before you can truly assess how you feel this playoff run went. But when you look at this series, when you're up 3-1 and the team then ties it for a Game 7, guess what? All of the pressure is on the New York Islanders. They had you cooked. You were fried. The Flyers didn't stand a chance. Everybody wrote them off. But here they come, whether they played pretty hockey or not pretty hockey, whether they had enough shots or didn't have enough shots on net. When you have a goaltender like Carter Hart who can make big-time saves and keep you involved, and when you pounce at the right moments, like I thought the Flyers did in Game 6, you can come out on top, and the Flyers did that in 2 straight games after being down 3-1. I did claim when they were down 3, I think this was after Game 5 I said this, so the series was 3-2 at this point. I said, if you told me the Flyers were down 3-1 and had to beat the Islanders 3 straight times, that just seems so impossible. It just seems so ridiculously hard. Well, in a Game 7 situation, anything can happen. Anything! Now, you mentioned the power play. I don't even know if I ripped the power play enough. It's wild! 6-year-olds at my local rink can find a way to set up a power play better. Isn't it obvious at this point that they need to generate more shots? None of this lazy stuff, trying to go cross-crease, trying to be so beautiful and set up passes. Claude Giroux, I love Claude Giroux, but here he is on the side of the power play, stick handling, looking, holding, going down to the goal line, and then they're trying to force a play to whoever's in the slot. Stop with the nonsense. Let's figure this thing out. Let's simplify things. They have generated a lot of goals by peppering the goalie from certain areas on the ice and driving the net. Let's use the first goal as an example. And I know that this isn't the same as setting up a power play where you get a puck to maybe Ivan Provorov or Sanhiem or whoever's up there and throwing a wrister on net or a clapper on net and having guys tip in front. But the point is getting bodies to the net. You see that working. So why don't we do that? The first goal, Robert Haig catches the puck on a turnover and they rush through the neutral zone into the offensive zone and he goes to the net hard. That creates space. And that allows Kevin Hayes to score. And I bring that up because let's go to the net. Let's go to the net. And with this power play, you're just sitting there stick handling. No one's going to the net. You're sitting you have your defenseman up at the blue line. You have someone behind the goal line. You have Claude Giroux by the wall and someone in the high slot area. Maybe if you do something where Giroux moves it up to the defenseman, you collapse, people go to the blue paint, you find a lane, you find some sticks, and you score. I feel like they're trying way too hard to make it look beautiful. Let's start getting some traction to the net. There was a good scoring chance for JVR. He's sitting net front. He gets a tip, rebounds there, he tries to put the rebound in. He didn't score on Varlamov there, but, come on, you see it. You see the opportunities based off of the simplifying of hockey. Get pucks to the net because they're not generating enough offensive chances. It's kind of crazy that they're in a Game 7 with this abysmal power play. If you tried to be this bad, you wouldn't even be this bad. And that's how you know they have a serious issue. But my problem is it looks like they're trying the same stuff. At what point are we going to go back to hockey where you make it easier for yourself? Right? It shouldn't be that hard.
Game 7, here we come. Story of the Flyers. It has not been the prettiest of hockey. Came out to a great start. Dropped 3 goals. Fought back. I was stressed the whole time. I feel really good about the Flyers winning Game 7. This is a huge momentum boost. Having Oskar Lindblom back in the lineup is amazing. great to see him back on the lineup. Great to see the Flyers in Game 7. Let's take the series on Saturday.
The fight back was insane. I mean, for the Flyers to go up 2-0 and then lose the lead 2-2, then lose the lead 3-2. Here comes Raffl, who you didn't really know what he was going through with the injury that happened during the round robin play. He came back, then he left the lineup. He bangs it home in the blue paint. You then lose the lead at the end of the second period. That play by Travis Sanhiem, I thought was the dagger. 29.2 seconds left. You allow that goal, you think that's the dagger. You're going to score multiple goals against the Islanders in the third period where they do their damage, where they excel so much? When they have the lead, it just seems so ridiculous. Yet a lucky bounce goes to Claude Giroux. He moves it forward to Scott Laughton, and bang. Who's your father? That's what he said to Varlamov. Who's your father? Ew! With a sick celebration. The fight back deserves a lot of credit. That's not easy to do. To beat Barry Trotz's system, that's hard. Very hard. Teams don't do that. The Flyers did in a big-time moment.
All right, bros, here we go again. Hunter gets to keep that beard. Flyers get to keep on playing. It was nice to see Lindblom out there. Hope Couturier can come back for the next game. But they did what they had to do. They had the 2-goal lead. They blew it. But they won it in overtime. If they got to keep winning in overtime, they got to keep winning in overtime. But you know what? Let's go Flyers!
I love it. I love it. Couple things I want to mention. You mentioned me keeping the playoff beard alive. I will say the mustache has now gone over the lips where it tickles me, and I feel it way too much, and I don't know if I like it. This thing is actually not fun at all to have. It's itchy. It's not fun, but I'll take it any day of the week if the Flyers continue to win hockey games. I never really thought about Sean Couturier coming back for Saturday. I know it would take a lot for a hockey player to sit out a Game 7, but if he sat out this game with the backs against the wall, I would assume that it's probably more long-term, but you never know with Sean Couturier. We've seen him in the past be able to be effective with some injuries and playing through a banged-up body, so we'll see how that whole thing plays out. Overtime. You mentioned overtime. This team continues to win in overtime. There's something to be said about this squad, and maybe, just maybe, it starts with the confidence in the kid in between the pipes, knowing you have a netminder who will come up clutch and make those big saves that are needed in crunch time. When Anders Lee has a big-time scoring chance, bang, there's the pad. When Barzal is whipping around the offensive zone, he's very, very aware of where everybody else is and where he is. It starts with the kid. I can't believe it's real life. It's real life. Damn it. It's real life.
Broads, it's Ryan from Tampa. We need a Broads celebration ASAP. And all I have to say is, staying alive, staying alive. Hey, you know what's great? My Bolts buddies love rubbing it in that, you know, they're just the superior team while I'm wearing my Carter Hart jersey down here, which is awesome. But anyway, hey, couple keys to the game. Hart came up huge, of course. He is just growing before our eyes. I mean, the saves that kid makes at his age, that's going to give him confidence for Game 7. And the thing that is so big is you see what happens when we just put shots on net. Either we'll get a tip, it comes out to Provorov, and he puts in the game winner. If I'm Vigneault and we have the next practice before Saturday, we gotta practice power play like it's no other. 4 for 50 is just unacceptable. We gotta get it done. Let's get to Saturday here. Can't wait. It's gonna be a thriller. Let's move on so we can play the Bolts down here in Tampa. See you, buddy.
That would be insane for you to be in Tampa and then be with all your Tampa boys while the Flyers play. That would be totally epic. I don't even know if they're going to have practice, to be honest with you. You end up having a double overtime game and one off day. I really doubt there'd be much practice, but I hope to God they go over some sort of power play, though. You nailed it. Get shots on net. Varlamov wasn't strong. He wasn't very solid. You see that you can beat him. So throw pucks on net. I really do think that they try too much to overthink this. Now, I get it. There's times where you see the neutral zone collapse. You see that the Islanders shut down the neutral zone, which forces the Flyers to not really have the space to enter the zone and throw a puck on net. Well, maybe they do a cross-crease dump, or, they go cross-corner dump, and they find ways to get in the corner and they establish a forecheck, fine, but they do need to find ways to get more shots on net. It's not as if there is an elite goaltender on the other side. There's a good goaltender on the other side who is very beatable if you find ways to crash the net and get into the blue paint. Do it!
Yo, bros, it's Carmen from Scranton, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. After Game 4, I told myself the Flyers were not going to come back and win this series. Game 5, we win in overtime. Game 6, we once again win in double overtime. And while I have a lot to complain about, we need to improve the power play. It is absolutely disgraceful that we have yet to score a goal throughout the entire series. But I digress. I'm going to sit back tonight, enjoy the win, and hopefully we can pull it all off in Game 7.
I know. I can't wait for Saturday at 7:30. It really is ridiculous, though, to think that the Flyers made it this far with a power play that doesn't work. It's bad when you don't want the power play. When the Flyers get a power play chance, you think, ugh, this is such a waste. You talk about it when the Flyers haven't lost a consecutive game in so long. You can look at it two ways. Either they're due to lose, or this is who they are. They don't lose consecutive games. But with the Flyers power play, I keep telling myself after every power play, at some point this is going to end. At some point they're going to find a way to score. This isn't who they're going to be forever. Yet they prove me wrong. It seems like this is who they are going to be forever, and it needs to stop. They have to score. They need to score. They need to score. They're too good. Rip Claude Giroux all you want. Rip other guys all you want. You have a 5-on-4 in the NHL. Claude Giroux's good enough to make plays happen there. I just think they're trying too much. They're trying too hard. They're forcing things that don't need to be forced. They have the talent to do it. Just make it easier on yourself. Why make it so hard? What do they always say? Work smarter, not harder. Well, how about that? I remember that philosophy. I used to work in a warehouse for a solar company, right? We had to move PVC pipe and do all this stuff with a lot of the solar panels and the pallet jacks. Well, I wasn't working extra hard if I didn't need to. Let's put it on the forklift, drive the forklift back instead of carrying PVC pipe. Work smarter. And I'm talking to you, power play. Work smarter.
Yo, bro, what are we doing, man? Oh, my Lord. The Flyers tie it up. It is going to Game 7, baby. Oh, my God. Ooh, man. All right. Accept me out of the way. The Islanders did outshoot us. They outshot us a lot. And looking at this, with the big picture, yeah, of course, you got to be caught with the win. Oh, man. Obviously, that overtakes everything. But the amount of outshooting that the Islanders did overall in this game, that's a huge difference. And if I were an Islanders fan, I would be pissed too, because it's just how do you shoot that much more and, not win when the season's on the line? But, still. Still really glad for the win. This thing is going to Game 7. I screamed so loud. I woke my sister up, but, dude, I am so freaking happy right now.
Yeah, your sister, she doesn't mean much when the Flyers win Game 6, right? With all due respect. I will say, though, it's funny you said that. My fiance's sleeping upstairs. She's got work in the morning, and here I am jumping up and down, screaming in my basement, almost hitting my head on the ceiling. I do know that feeling. As much as I say, who cares? It's your sister. Maybe the situation's a little different with the fiance. I don't know. I guess I'm a hypocrite, because I was a little quiet, too. Who am I to judge? Look, the Flyers won. The Flyers won and forced Game 7. I can't wait for Saturday night. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be unbelievable. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you all so much for listening, and I will see you next time.